I'd like to call the Macomb City Council to order, please. If you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If the clerk would call the roll, please.
Justin Shue.
Here.
John Vajezi.
Here.
Byron Shabazz.
Here.
Dave Dorsett.
Present.
Ashley Katz.
Here.
Don Wynn.
Here.
Dennis Moon. 6 present.
We have a quorum. Thank you. We have some special guests in the audience here that we're going to issue a proclamation in support of some of their good works. If they could join me at the podium, that'd be great. All right, Council, with your support, I'd like to issue the following proclamation to the folks doing good work with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Thank you so much. And I'll let them introduce themselves after we issue the proclamation. It says, whereas January is National Mentoring Month, an annual campaign to raise awareness of and celebrate the powerful impact of mentoring relationships, recruit new mentors, and encourage institutions to integrate quality mentoring into their policies and practices. And whereas the City of Macomb, Illinois recognizes the invaluable contributions of volunteer mentors who connect with youth who are economic and social opportunities while strengthening the fabric of our community. And whereas youth development experts agree that mentoring fosters positive youth development, promoting smart daily behaviors such as completing homework and engaging in healthy social interactions, which significantly contribute to the growth and success of young people. And whereas mentors play a crucial role in helping young people set career goals while also connecting mentees to industry professionals for valuable job training and career opportunities. And whereas mentoring programs have a positive impact on many aspects of mental well-being, including reducing unhealthy coping mechanisms, fostering better interpersonal relationships, and alleviating parental stress. And now, therefore, I, Michael J. Inman, Mayor of the City of Macomb, Illinois, do hereby proclaim that this city honors and recognizes January 2025 as National Mentoring Month and encourage all citizens to recognize and support the role of mentors in our community and to consider becoming mentors themselves, helping to ensure that every young person in Macomb has the guidance and support they deserve. I'd like to share this with the director of Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Miss Sarah Baca, and then I'll let the folks here introduce themselves. Here you are, Sarah. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to say really quickly that in my role as director for the past 5 years, as well as a big sister for the past 7 years, I have firsthand seen the positive impact that our mentors had made on their littles, as well as the families and the community abroad. And I want to introduce one of the best matches that we have. Bill has been a great dedicated mentor to Noah. Would you agree, Noah? Yeah, for the past 7 years. And I can't think of a better match that will represent Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So I'm going to introduce Bill, if you want to say something. Bill, you want to?
Well, yeah, something very short. First of all, I want to say that this is not as a result of a fight that we had. But we just celebrated our 7th year together. We started over at Edison School and ended up doing lots of different things together. And I can't speak highly enough about the work that Sarah's done and the entire program, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. And last but not least, Noah is just really an incredible young man. He's gotten involved in more and more, probably more than he would like at some times. But he's graduating from Macomb High this year and is planning on starting at Western in the fall.
As you know, I'm your chief, Jeff Hamer. I've been matched with my little Lucas, who was invited, but he's got the sniffles and a fever, so I wanted to keep him away from all you guys. I've been matched with him for over 5 years, and mentoring and guiding a young one through life and life advice, challenges, problems, and fun times has been one of the most rewarding things that I've been able to do here in Macomb. So, and I've had a lot to be thankful for it, and this is definitely one of them. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Noah, would you like to say anything? You're not obligated to.
Just that I'm very grateful to be in this program and that it's definitely helped me.
Awesome.
Well, we thank you all, and I think this is a prime example of how folks in the community can get involved, and again, as the proclamation states, looking for more to do that. So thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for supporting the program. Sarah, thanks for doing such a great job. Yeah. Sure. Can we get everyone over here?
Thank you.
Alrighty, citizens wishing to address the City Council on matters germane to the agenda of tonight's meeting will be limited to 3 minutes and are asked to be brief and concise in making their remarks. Comments submitted by mail or email will not be read aloud, but a copy will be provided to each member of the council and made a part of the minutes of this meeting. Does anyone wish to speak to the council in the public comment section of the agenda tonight? Already hearing none, I would entertain a motion to sit as the Township Board.
Motion to sit as township. Second.
Moved and seconded to sit as the Township Board. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Merrinman.
Aye.
Shu.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Council, board members, before you is a consent agenda. It includes the claims and accounts for December of 2024 and the supervisor's report for this month, as well as the assessor's report. Then entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Motion to adopt consent agenda is written.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Shu.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Merrinman.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. I don't believe there's any other old business this evening. Is that correct?
Correct.
And new business. There is no other new business either then. Excuse me, I'd entertain a motion to resume as the City Council.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to resume as the City Council. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Merrinman.
Aye.
Shu.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. And council, before you is a consent agenda for the council meeting, and a motion is in order.
Motion to accept consent agenda is written.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
Cat.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Shu.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. There is no other unfinished business to discuss this evening. There is a considerable amount of new business, 16 items we have here in front of you. Item number 1, consideration to give the authorization to change the City of Macomb's program compliance and oversight monitor, also known as PCOM, from the Community Development Director Miranda Lambert to the Transit Director Calabria Petrino. This is on page 13 of your agenda. There's a memo, and Maria, Calabria, could you come up and go over the memo just for us real quickly? I think it's a formality more than anything.
Absolutely. Good evening. Staff requests that City Council authorizes the Public Transportation Department to transfer the role of PCOM. The role will go from Community Development Director Miranda Lambert to current Transit Director Calabria Petrino. This position is required for rural recipients of the Downstate Operating Assistance Program, otherwise known as DOPE, and the 5311 grants. Guidance and protocols for the PCOM position are provided by Illinois Department of Transportation.
Okay, any questions from Calabria regarding what we're doing here? Already entertain a motion to make that change.
Motion to authorize change the city of Macomb's program compliance and oversight monitor from Miranda Lambert to Calabria Petrino.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to authorize the change. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Dorset,
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn,
Aye.
Shu.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. And I think you have an appointment in Carthage, right? All right. Good luck. Be careful. The next 5 items, Council, 2, 3, 4, I'm sorry, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, are all memos of understanding between the city and several townships in the county regarding a glass recycling project that we've been working on for a while. I'm going to ask, these are all 6 different resolutions. The body of them remains the same and almost the same in all of them, but we'll read the entirety of the first one and then abbreviate and fill in any differences as we go down the list. So the first one is consideration to approve a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between Mound Township and the city of Macomb. Ms. Scalf, please.
Thank you. Units of government are permitted under the Illinois Constitution to enter into agreements to share services. This particular resolution involves the city of Macomb and Mound Township desiring to share resources for the benefit of their collective citizens to provide glass recycling services. The agreement is, or the intergovernmental agreement is attached as Exhibit A, and if adopted, the resolution would authorize execution of that agreement. As to Mound Township, the agreement includes an initial contribution of $100 commencing May 15th, 2025, and increasing by 5% each year for a total term of 5 years.
That'll stand as reading of the resolution, and we'd entertain a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to adopt. Any discussion? Alderman Dorset.
It's actually a point of order question for the city attorney. Could we proceed through all of these and then do them en masse?
If you want to do a motion to approve all 6 resolutions at once, that would be appropriate.
So
Are there,
moved.
excuse me, are there any differences? I thought you said there was.
There are. Some of them, I could go through those before you make your motion if you would prefer.
We can
And then you
go
could,
ahead and read them and then just do all of the voting at once.
yes.
Okay. Shall we do that then? All right. Why don't you go ahead and read the one regarding Industry Township then, please?
Industry Township is just a 1-year agreement. They are going to contribute $250 payable on or before May 15th, 2025.
Thank you. And then Bethel Township.
Bethel Township is a 5-year agreement. The initial contribution is $100 due May 15th, 2025, an increase of 5% each year thereafter.
Thank you. And New Salem.
New Salem. It's also a 5-year agreement. Initial contribution of $100, May 15th, 2025, an increase of 5% thereafter for 5 years.
Okay. Thank you. And Scotland.
Scotland is also a 5-year agreement. Initial contribution is $250, May 15th, 2025, and increases 5% for each year thereafter for 5 years.
Thank you. And Lemoyne.
Lemoyne is also a 5-year agreement with the initial contribution of $250 due May 15th, 2025, and increasing at 5% each year thereafter for 5 years.
Thank you. If I understood, then we'd entertain a motion to adopt all the resolutions as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Alderman Vajezi.
Does this change in any way anybody's, as far as their recycling at their house? So just to put it out there for the public.
No, it does not. This is for a central gathering location. It's yet to be firmed up and with absolute certainty, and anyone would be allowed to put glass in there for recycling.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn,
Aye.
Shu.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 8, consideration of an ordinance to amend portions of Chapter 17 of the Macomb Municipal Code. There's a memorandum in your packet, and This will be first reading.
Thank you. The City of Macomb is authorized and has the authority to adopt amendments to the provisions of Chapter 17 of the Municipal Code. The Community Development Director, with the recommendation of the Community Development Committee, are recommending approval to amend portions of Chapter 17, amending the use matrix, and portions affecting and increasing the geographical area for required notices when the subject properties are within the city's extraterritorial boundary. If adopted, the ordinance provides that the use matrix in Appendix A of Chapter 17 would be amended as shown in Exhibit A, and that amendment to Section 17-289, 329, 330, and 365 would be made as set forth in the attached Exhibit B.
Thank you. That'll stand as first reading. We'll place that on for discussion at next week's Committee of the Whole. Item number 9, consideration ordinance authorizing the sale of certain personal property, including equipment and vehicles owned by the City of Macomb. There's a copy of the ordinance on page 58, and the list is on page 60. This will be first reading.
Thank you. The City of Macomb has the power and authority under the Illinois Municipal Code to dispose of municipally owned personal property that is no longer necessary, useful, or beneficial to retain. The city is authorized to dispose of those personal property in one of the 3 ways set forth in the Illinois Municipal Code. Based upon the opinions of City Hall staff and department heads, council would find that it's no longer necessary, useful, or beneficial to retain the property listed in the attached Exhibit A, and the ordinance would authorize the mayor to dispose of that property in one of those 3 ways as set forth in the Illinois Municipal Code.
Thank you. That'll stand as first reading. We'll place that on for further discussion at next week's Committee of the Whole meeting. Item number 10, consideration to approve a contractual agreement between Utopian Power and the city to supply ground-mounted solar photovoltaic, I got pretty close there, system at the Macomb wastewater treatment plant. Approval of the agreement was discussed at the January 6th meeting. And Scott, do you want to go over your memo there on page 62?
Sure. I just add a little bit that since we received approval to proceed with Utopian, we worked with Nania Energy to review the contract, and Nania is our expert in this, and they had a couple changes. We went through it. Nothing major. They said it's a very straightforward contract. They do this all the time, so that helped quite a bit. So, and city attorney reviewed it. I reviewed it. So we'd like approval to proceed with this. They have quite a bit of compliance permitting that they have to do with Ameren to get this project moving, but the goal is to have it done by December. So for solar at the wastewater plant.
Thank you. Any questions for Scott? We'd entertain a motion to approve the contract.
Make a motion to approve the contractual agreement with Utopia Power to supply ground-mounted solar PV system at the Macomb wastewater treatment plant.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? We have the means by which to pay this as the next item, so hearing no further discussion, roll call, please.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Shu. Aye. Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 11, consideration to authorize the city to enter into a loan agreement with the Mid-America Bank in the amount of $2,134,000 to finance that ground-mounted solar system at the wastewater treatment plant. There's a memorandum in your packet from the city administrator on page 72 with the terms. Scott?
Sure. So to proceed with this project, we need some financing because we do not have the cash on hand. But once we get into the project and the field starts producing, then we'll have the energy savings. Plus, we'll receive a federal tax credit of around $770,000 through the process this year, and then we'll receive state renewable energy credits, or SRECs, of about $200,000 each year for 7 years. So we'll be paying this off with our energy savings, which will be about $120,000 to $130,000, plus the SRECs, and plan for a 6-year payback on this. And Mid-America went to all the local banks. Mid-America had the best rate for us.
Very good. 6 years at 4.93%. Would entertain a motion to approve the loan agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to authorize the loan agreement. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Wynn.
Aye.
Shu.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 12, consideration to authorize entering into a letter of engagement for contractual agreement with Baker Tilly U.S. LLP, accounting firm, to perform the City of Macomb's annual audits. There's a memorandum in your packet from the Finance and Human Resources Director, Ms. Worley, on page 73. Melissa, could you come up and go over that for us, please?
Good evening. I'm pleased to inform you that we've successfully completed the request for proposals with our auditing services. After we reviewed all of the proposals and scored all the proposals, we conducted 2 interviews of the 2 highest scoring firms that submitted proposals to us. Based on those evaluations and our feedback, I would like to recommend Baker Tilly to proceed with negotiations with their initial letter of engagement draft that we have here. And this request was presented to the General Government Committee and recommended to move on these negotiations.
Thank you. Any questions for Melissa? Hearing none, we'd entertain a motion to authorize entering into an engagement letter with Baker Tilly U.S. LLP for accounting services for the annual audit.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Yeah, Scott.
So I just want to say that Melissa has done an excellent job in this process. It is pretty daunting, I think, to go out and search for a new auditor, and we've had the same one her whole time she's been here. But she has a whole list of to-do things to talk with them about. She's very excited to have this, so I think it's been very great. And I was in the interview with this company, and they came here and met with us, and I thought it was a very good relationship that we are starting to build already.
Very good. Thank you. Did we took care of that? Well, thank you. Threw me off there. Item number 13, consideration to...
No vote. We have
Oh,
first and second.
excuse me.
I'm sorry, I thought that's what you meant.
That's okay. It's
was
cold in
waiting for
here.
you to say
My brain's
roll
not
call,
working
please.
very well. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Shu.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 13, consideration to authorize the community development staff to seek bids for the residential demolition of up to 25 properties. There's a memorandum in your packet on page 95 from the community development director, Ms. Lambert.
Good evening, everyone. So through our Strong Communities program, we've already went through 1 round of demolition. With that funding, we were hopeful that we'd be able to use the remainder for rehabs, but due to a shortage with our licensed contractors and having other housing programs such as the HREP and our CDBG and wanting to make sure we can fulfill those grants, we're looking to switch that component and move it for demolition. So we're seeking approval to go out for bid for 25 properties. Again, we're still working on identifying those properties, but again, they'll all be residential and they'll have to get approval from IDA for being able to get reimbursement. So again, this will all come through the Strong Communities program.
Very good. Any questions from Miranda? Alderman Dorset.
Will we get a list of all those properties before this proceeds?
Before
Before it proceeds to demolition?
we can do that, yes.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? We entertain a motion to authorize the staff and the community development department to seek those bids for demolishing 25 properties.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Shu. All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 14, consideration to authorize a memorandum of understanding between the city and the Macomb Park District for the Safe Streets for All grant. There's a memorandum on page 97 of your packet. And Miranda, could you go over that for us, please?
Yes, we were awarded the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant back in December. Part of that application was a 50,000 local match requirement. So again, that grant is going to allow us to create a comprehensive street safety plan and allow us to evaluate our current bike path lanes on Carroll Street and Washington Street. Part of that agreement to be able to apply for that was to have the Park District as a community partner with us, put in 25,000 towards that 50,000 local match.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for Miranda? We'd entertain a motion to authorize us and to enter an MOU between us and the Park District for the Safe Streets for All program.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Alderman Dorsett.
Just like to thank our partners with the Macomb Park District for continuing to proceed with this long-standing and ongoing process.
Very good. I concur with that. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Shu.
Aye.
Vajezi.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 15, consideration to approve a time and materials not to exceed $7,500 with Baxter Woodman to assist with the compliance requirements at the water treatment plant. There's a memorandum in your packet from the Public Works Director on page 99. Alice, could you go over that for us, please?
Good evening. As you know, Steve Servin recently started, actually today was his first full day as the water treatment plant manager. And one of the things that he had asked was that he has the ability to call Baxter and Woodman, who has been assisting us for the past year, should compliance issues come up that he doesn't know how to handle. Just a brief phone call, Teams meeting, something. We're not anticipating any travel included in this. And this will just be kind of a little bit of a safety net for him for this first 6 months to a year.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Ortman? Alderman Dorsett.
Do we anticipate this being the last that we'll have to
Yes.
put forward, Baxter and Woodman?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? We'd entertain a motion to approve time and materials not to exceed $7,500 for Baxter Woodman's assistance and with compliance requirements at the water treatment plant.
Motion to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Dorset.
Aye.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Shu. Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 16, consideration to adopt the City of Macomb's grant policies and procedures. This was discussed and recommended by the General Government Committee at a meeting they had a week ago yesterday. The policy and application is attached in your packet on page 101. And Ms. Bidenstadt, if you could go over what we're hoping to accomplish here, please.
Yes, sir. If you look at the attached policies and procedures, I have a couple different key elements to point out. It is divided into a couple different sections that revolves around the grant life cycle. So there is the pre-award requirements. So that would be ensuring that all grant opportunities align with the city's strategic priorities and have been vetted for sustainability and compliance. Then we have the award and management process, which would be establishing the roles, responsibilities, maintaining proper documentation, and ensuring all financial transactions meet the grant and city policy requirements. And then the final would be the closeout and audit processes. They provide clear guidance for completing final reports, reconciling funds, and retaining necessary records in compliance with the Illinois Local Record Act, as well as the policies that are within the grant agreements. The purpose of these policies and procedures is to ensure compliance with federal, state, and local regulations while promoting accountability and efficiency. The framework was developed by myself, Melissa, Scott, Lisa, and Miranda, and outlined in the document will help us maximize the impact of grant funding for our city while minimizing risks and ensuring that the resources are used responsibly and effectively. This would not only streamline our internal process, but provide clarity and consistency for staff and departments involved in grant activities. And then the other document that is attached would be an internal document that I created for either myself or for the department head to fill out and essentially track where we are within the grant process. The project description, basically all of the necessary grant details that when it comes to the reports that I would be giving you quarterly, all of that information would be on this sheet and it would be in the grant file. So that way, as I mentioned to Scott, in the event that if I were out sick or anything, they could grab the grant file, read over the document and be able to find exactly all the information without having to flip through, read through the NOFO, reach out to the department head and see where everything's at.
Very good. Any questions for Jessica? Alderman Vajezi.
Not a question, just a comment. Thank you to everybody who was involved with this. This is very, very well organized. I'll tell you that between the approval form, all the bullet points that you put in there, so it makes it very, very easy for someone to follow up with. So thank you for putting that all together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Anyone else? We'd entertain a motion then to adopt the city's grant policies and procedures manual.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Katz.
Aye.
Wynn.
Aye.
Shu. Vajezi.
Aye.
Shabazz.
Aye.
Dorset.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried, thank you. There is no other new business this evening. Are there any committee reports? Alderman Vajezi.
Just a quick report on the animal shelter for December. At the beginning month, they had 21 dogs. 2 were picked up, 11 were dropped off for a total of 34. Of the 34, 5 were reclaimed, 14 were adopted, bringing them down. 19 went out, so a total of 15 at the end of the month. For the cats, they had 26 at the beginning of the month. 7 were dropped off for a total of 33. Of the 33, 8 were adopted, bringing them down to 25. Couple of other quick notes. For the year, there were over 144 dogs adopted and 158 cats adopted. So great numbers and thank you to the McDonough County Animal Shelter and also the essentially dog pound for taking care and getting the news out there. And then also for spaying, neutering, over 1,600 spayed and neuters done out at the shelter. So for the year, so great job with that. So again, if you're looking for an animal to bring home to take care of you or keep you warm during the cold days, stop by the animal shelter.
Okay, very good. Alderman Dorset.
Yes, the Macomb Area Convention and Visitors Bureau had their annual retreat a week ago where they went over some plans, of course, for this year's Heritage Days, et cetera. And then they're also looking at moving forward with some new items for their next 5-year plan because their last 5-year plan has been significantly fulfilled with the recent addition of a number of items such as Macombopoly and they are looking forward to working with us going forward.
Very good. Thank you. Any other committee reports? Hearing none, automatic reports. Alderman Wynn.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman Katz.
No report.
Thank you, ma'am. Alderman Dorset.
Just wanted to thank the folks in Mount Calvary Church of God in Christ for their Martin Luther King Jr. Day yesterday. It was, I think, decently attended. Would be nice to see more people, but it was a little chilly. So,
very good. Thank you. Alderman Schwaz.
No report.
Thank you. Alderman Vajezi.
Just a reminder, it is exceptionally cold outside, bone-chillingly cold. So if you have elderly parents, elderly friends, people that need some extra support, make sure you check on them. I know right now the economy is tough for people, and so they might have their heat turned down a little bit lower. So please make sure you're following up with people and making sure that you're taking care of them.
Very good. Thank you. Alderman Shu.
No report.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, anything?
Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Madam Supervisor?
Nothing today.
Madam Attorney? Mr. Coker?
I do want to say something.
Please.
So, I don't very often, but I want to put out a huge thank you to our staff for everything they do, being involved in the community. Jeff here with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, to all the work that they've done, and you saw it tonight in the agenda, grant work and the policies. Miranda's doing a great job, and for a little bit longer, but we really appreciate it, what Alice has done, Jessica, and Lisa. So everyone's doing a great job.
Very good. Thank you. We double down on that. And I'd also double down on Alderman Vajezi's comments regarding the Martin Luther King celebration yesterday that was hosted by the Mount Calvary Church of God in Christ. I meant Alderman Dorsett, sorry. Thank you. I don't believe there's anything else. We have one other action item, I'm sorry. As Alderman Dorsett mentioned, the Heritage Days will be here before we know it, even though it's 4 degrees today. I'd like to ask for your concurrence in appointing the following members to the Macomb Heritage Days Committee 2025. Jock Headblade, Jan Armstrong, Daniel Morse, Tom Stites, Dana Moon, Neil Armstrong, Becky Steelman, Dave King, Justin Royer, Amy Royer, and Savannah Ballard.
Motion to concur.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to concur. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. There is no other business to come before you this evening. We'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This meeting is
Who made the
adjourned.
second, guys? I heard John.
Pick one of us.
Dave, okay.